Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to give you my thoughts on America's war against Iraq. And I'll start off by saying and making clear that there has never been a declaration of war for this particular invasion of another country, neither with Afghanistan. All right, there's an actual formal process, legalities involved, where there has to be a declaration of war for something to be official. Never happened in Iraq or Afghanistan. So the first question I will pose to you is, what was the reason that United States invaded Iraq? I still don't know the answer to that. They said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, and they went in there and they fucking murdered 1 million people, probably more. And they've been in there for so many years now. They destroyed the fucking country. The country was in much, much better shape with Saddam Hussein in charge than it is today and now. I believe that the only reason United States ever goes to war is for money and power. That's it. There's never any altruistic motive where they really want to help people. They don't give a fuck. They claim that they're going in to save people who are oppressed. They make that claim, but that's never the case. Because if that's the case, there are poor countries all over the world where people are suffering under oppression, yet United States has no interest in helping them. And the reason they don't is because those countries don't have any natural resources that United States wants. They cannot increase their wealth by invading or attacking a poor country. Iraq, on the other hand, is not a poor country. Iraq was in control of a vast amount of oil reserves and wealth in that regard. They wanted that. They wanted to be strategically located in the Middle East as well. Iraq also provided a solution for that. So I just like to talk plainly about things, guys. I feel like, we're bullshitted so much every day of our lives through the fucking government and news and media. Let's talk fucking plainly. At the end of the day, they invaded this country, they murdered all these people because they wanted to benefit themselves. That's it. That's it. And while we're on the subject, the same thing about Afghanistan. Fuck are you doing in Afghanistan? Why have we been there for all these years? Their claim there was that this had something to do with 9/11. First of all, 9/11 was a fucking government job. It was not a fucking hijackers with box cutters who took these planes and crashed them into these buildings. That's my opinion. You don't agree? Don't agree. But don't fucking insult me because of my opinion. I hate that shit. When people start insulting and attacking others because they don't agree. All right? This is how I believe. This is exactly what I believe happened. That it was a setup. It was an inside job. Nothing like what we were told. But let's put that aside. Let's just assume for argument's sake that I believe the narrative that they told us. Okay, these hijackers came and did this. These hijackers were not even fucking Afghanis. They're from Saudi Arabia. Why didn't we invade Saudi Arabia? I've never heard one fucking word of attacking Saudi Arabia or going to war with them. Why not? Again, guys, there are things at play that you don't understand politically. All right? It's not what you think it is. Don't listen to the bullshit. Don't listen to these fucking presidents rambling and telling you why we should send hundreds of thousands of our troops and let ourselves get fucking murdered. We're sending our poorest oftentimes to be killed over there in another foreign land. While we're doing that, we're murdering hundreds of thousands. In the case of Iraq, over 1 million people that had nothing to do with it. They had nothing to do with no fucking war. They didn't give a fuck about George Bush. They were living under Saddam Hussein's reign, and that was their problem. We just made it worse. So, I'm not anti-American, guys. I'm not anti-government. But at the end of the day, I'm anti-bullshit. I don't give a fuck what anyone's going to say. I see things clearly as they are. At the end of the day, we left that country. We didn't even leave it, but we destroyed it and created a much worse situation than what was already there. And again, I ask you, for what? And the worst thing about these wars, in my opinion, is that the common American sentiment towards these people of these other countries that we invade, when they fight back, we call them terrorists. They're terrorists when they fight back. And we celebrate when we kill them. What the fuck do you think would happen if another country decided to invade our country here and did so and justified it by saying, hey, there are people being oppressed in America. We're going to go in there and we're going to take over. We don't give a fuck about the government in there. We don't give a fuck about the customs, the culture, the people. We're going to wipe all that shit out and do what we want to do. What if China did that to us? And then when we start fighting back, the American people start fighting back and killing the Chinese soldiers, they call us terrorists. We're terrorists because we're fucking defending our land. We're defending our lives, our family, and ourselves, and we're terrorists. That word is so often misapplied. It's terrible how that word gets thrown around, okay? People are not terrorists for defending their fucking own best interest. They're not. Just imagine how stupid that is to think that another country can come in here and we would allow that. So if we wouldn't allow it and we wouldn't want it for ourselves, how the fuck do so many Americans support us doing it to other people elsewhere? And the answer to that is a mentality of superiority, where so many fucking Americans think that they are better, think that their lives and their country is more important than that of other people. I don't understand that. People are people everywhere we go. That's it. We're not fucking special because we happen to have been born on this land here. That doesn't make us special. Okay? Empires rise and fall. Nothing lasts forever. So it's wrong to think that way. That we should be able to do whatever the fuck we want. Even with the thing about Saddam Hussein having nuclear weapons. So what? Who the fuck are you, another country, to tell this country that they can't have it? Are you going to give up yours, America? No. They would laugh at that notion. So again, it comes down to a mentality of feeling like you have special privilege and that we Americans can basically dictate to the world what we want to do, what we want to have done, even in their own fucking countries, in a different part of the world that we have nothing to do with. And if you don't do it, we're going to come in there and fucking start murdering. That's it. They murdered millions of people. Millions of Iraqis are dead. And lives and families and cities and cultures and ancient artifacts destroyed. Destroyed, gone forever. For what? And the saddest thing about the whole thing is the American soldiers who go do this shit. I'm not anti-soldiers either, guys. Listen, I understand and I respect that a lot of these people do this shit because they don't have intelligence to understand what's really happening. They don't understand the dynamic of the whole situation for what it really is. So I can't fault people for their own ignorance. Others are in financial situations where they have hardships and they think this is the best thing for them to enlist and go be a fucking soldier. In my opinion, for me, I would never, ever put myself in a situation where I can be ordered to kill another person. Never. Fuck that. That's the same reason I'm against being a gang member. It's the same concept. You're going to be ruled by somebody else. You have a superior who's above you, and that person has the power to tell you to kill somebody else, even if you don't agree, even if the person didn't do anything to you, or even worse, even if it's a woman and a child. They killed women and children in Iraq. And it sickens me. Some of these soldiers enjoy that shit and think they're doing something good. My answer to those kind of guys is, you'll be in fucking hell. Your reality is coming. The price is coming for what the fuck you've done. It's not free. Don't think it's free, ever. And the last thing I want to touch on, guys, for those of you that are not aware of the horrors of war, okay? They go out of their way to not show these things. Because the media doesn't show dead bodies. There's a reason why they don't ever allow the filming or to put on the news images or video of American dead soldiers. They don't do that because they want to shelter people from that. They don't want people to see the real reality, the horror of it, the death, the fucking brutality, the blood, the sacrifice, the hurt that this causes. So I don't value any person's life more than another. And Americans seem to do that. They think that the lives, one American dead soldier somehow is way more valuable than 100,000 dead Iraqis. Who the fuck are you to feel that way? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. That's so foreign to me to think like that. One of the most disgusting things I ever saw with regard to this whole Iraq war are those images that came out of that prison, Abu Ghraib in Iraq, where they were holding people in there and torturing them. American military personnel were torturing people in there. Most of the people were there unjustly. They were not fucking terrorists. As I explained earlier, they were people whose land was invaded, whose families were killed, who have been decimated by another fucking foreign nation's presence and invasion, and they defended themselves exactly the way I would. And they were put in these places. Look up those fucking images of Abu Ghraib and see what these soldiers did to them. And see how they were laughing and smirking and taking pleasure out of doing these things to those people. There's a great fucking evil in people like that. And it exists at all levels in our country, including top levels of government, where some people are just sadistic. I've done a lot of bad shit. I'm capable of doing a lot of bad, but never to an innocent person. Never to a woman or child. There's a big fucking difference. So think what you want about me. Call me what you want. I never fucking hurt anybody innocent. Ever. And I can never take pleasure in those kind of actions as was done in Abu Ghraib prison. That shit broke my heart to see that. And then people wonder why other nations around the world hate America. You really have to fucking wonder why? America, at the end of the day, has more blood on its hands than any other fucking nation. And I don't feel that we're in any position to try to police the whole world and tell people what to do. Let's worry about ourselves instead. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please share your thoughts and comments. I'm sure a lot of you are not going to like what I had to say. Again, don't fucking insult me. Instead, you want to engage in the dialogue? Tell me why I'm wrong. Explain your position like a fucking adult, and we can have the conversation. I'll talk to you guys next time.